Fans are singing along with Bryce the Stops walk-up music.
Dominguez kicks the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. And the ball game and the series are over. Home run for Kyle Schwarber. A grand slam for Bryce and the Phillies have the National League Championship.
Alrighty, folks. Welcome into a special episode of the Quit Chasin Podcast. A little somber, a little despondent, always apocalyptic. I'm Alex Kruger. That's Danny Gerb. Danny, say hi to the crowd.
Hey, Alex. How you doing tonight?
I'm actually doing okay. How are you doing? That's the question I want. How are you?
Surviving. So I am slightly better than I was all day today. You can attest I was a manic boy.
It was rough. So, folks, to anyone that has been residing under a series of rocks for the last 24 or so hours, both Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper are now on the 10-day DL with a groin and hamstring strain, not tear, but strain. And that sucks. We've been bit by the injury bug, but right now we have JT, Kyle, and Bryce all out simultaneously, and a very fascinating AAA roster right now competing against Major League talent and the Marlins. So it is interesting to say the least.
Not just that, it's Turnbull and Walker as well. I mean, say what you will about either of them, but as far as fives in the rotation, show me a better five.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know about you, but, Chris Sanchez went all 9 innings today, and at some point, I thought to myself, I don't really want anyone in the bullpen coming in right now. I am seeing what Sanchez is doing. He's the pitcher I trust to close out this game. Really, really happy he stayed on the bump because we went 9 innings, and we had to steal 2 runs away to come away with this win. So it is going to be a tough 2 weeks coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where I feel with it. Was Sanchez did exactly what he needed to do for me, for the team, for the fan base of Philadelphia right now. They manufactured those 2 runs. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that's what it's going to be, man. I tweeted or Facebooked or something about it earlier today. This to all of those Philly fans that just woke up in the last 2-3 years. This is the type of stuff we were dealing with leading up to now. These are the very, very rough rosters, and you pray for 8 brilliant innings from your ace because you're going to go 6 innings without scoring a run. These are going to be lean times. And it's going to be tough.
Yeah, we had Rojas back up, so Sanchez player of the game, right?
Obviously. So I go ahead?
Yeah.
You go ahead. Go ahead.
So Rojas back up. Sanchez, obviously the player of the game, 3 hits, no walks, 9 innings. I mean, he was at a pitch count of 64 entering the 7th.
It was insane, dude. His pitch count all night, every inning was amazing. Amazing.
Absolutely needed that. Like I said, it really talked me off the ledge. But Rojas turning that,
legging it out.
All intents and purposes, that single for 7 guys out of that 9-man lineup. That's a single. He legs it into a triple. He gets
double.
Thank you. Legs it into a double. He gets the third on the what was it?
Was it wild pitch? Yeah, it was a wild pitch.
It was a wild pitch or pass ball.
Something like that.
Yeah. He gets a third on there, and they sack fly him in, and they absolutely manufactured that second one. But it's on the backs of Rojas. I mean, if you're not giving the player of the game to Sanchez, who is the reason why I'm still alive, it goes to Rojas tonight. So, yeah, you got something on him?
I do. So I was so happy. I hate to, I'm going to just say it, dude. I was so happy to watch him up at the plate, to watch him fielding balls. I missed Johan Rojas. And I know that preseason I was Mr. Pache, but Pache hasn't exactly stepped in front of Rojas. And there is just There's just something about Rojas's tenacity and his energy that I really appreciate, and I missed having him out here. And I do like that he's a part of this team again. I do think he still needs more development, but like I missed him. I did. It was nice to see him.
I'm with you. I missed him too in that sense of like, I don't know who it was. It might have been Bob and Anthony. It might have been Jack and James. It might have been both of them. But that whole, like that first game after he went down and Marsh was in center and Marsh misses that one against the wall, and everyone was like, that's why. But like the idea of like having like only one platoon now in the outfield, I do like that.
I do like that too.
Yeah, like so whatever. At this point, whatever. I mean, there's still an outfield problem, but with Rojas back up, you're at least not having two platoons in the outfield. Which speaking of
platoons, all right, here's where I want to come in with some jazz, because when I start thinking about the lineups that we throw out, that Topper has, there are 3 true everyday starters currently in this lineup: Alec Boehm, Trey Turner, and Nick Castellanos. And that's insane. Of the 9 guys, 3 of them are true starters, because you got Stott doing his, down for the lefties. Same with Marshy, and you got backups everywhere else. So it's fascinating that of this lineup. And I do worry about the defense a little bit. Like David Dahl, I think he's made to be our DH more than anything. I don't want him on the field. I like David Dahl, but I really don't want him fielding anything. So maybe the perfect spot for him right now while Kyle's out is DH. And I think that's where he can do the most damage.
Yeah, Dahl in the field is
Dahl in the field's real bad, dude. It's like Pat Burrell minus Hunter Pence divided by
Burrell, the French Pat Burrell.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Very
sir.
Nice. Very nice.
All right. Sure, he tried to start that fight. So all right, but here's what I want to get into. We talk about a 10-day stint for both Harper and Schwarber about when they're out. And we think about the series we got coming up. And we got Chicago, we got the Braves, and we've got the Dodgers. So if we win those games, great. That means we have awesome depth. If we lose those games, okay, it wasn't our style. Like, we're not going to learn anything that we need to see as psychotic, insane fans as we are, and dudes that like need to know we can step it up when we play big teams in big situations. And the fact that we're not going to have the Harpers and the Schwarbers and the JTs on the team to do just that for those series, that sucks. We don't get a preview of what that's going to look like come September, October. And I really was looking forward to that.
I'm with you. I mean, I think that is the one thing I sent to you when we were talking back and forth today, was just like, we see the Braves opening day, and we don't see him again until July, whatever it is. And now this is the situation. I mean, it is what it is. The Cubs. So when we had our, one of the episodes, and I kind of made I could see the Phil's bats going cold against the Cubs. I don't feel they've cooled off. The pitching's come down to earth. The Cubs are not what they should be, or what they were in the beginning of the season, or what that team really should be. But
no, but they could always get streaky at the same time. And honestly, dude, like the lack of bats, the lack of competent at bats tonight with guys in scoring position and so many opportunities to bring stuff in. And we've been doing this now for a few weeks where we'll get bases loaded, nobody out, and somehow get out of that inning without a damned RBI, or even just one RBI. And it's just, what the hell are we doing?
In fairness, we're doing that with Schwarber and Harper as well.
I agree. No. But now it's going to be that much harder without having an offensive counterpunch. So I hate it. I really do. And it's going to be interesting to see kind of what happens. But I messaged you about this earlier today. Like, at least our guys do get to sit down and rest up and get all healed through now and the All-Star break, come back, get back into the swing of things for the stretch run, and hopefully stay healthy through October. I mean, we've been really lucky the last 2-3 years with deep pushes without world-ending injuries, and it looks like the Bills just come due to this year. And now we get to test and see just how good is this depth that we've been too afraid to trade away for valuable pieces at deadlines. Like we keep saying, we're hanging on to these guys because they're futures. They're going to do stuff. All right, let's see. Next man up. What's going to happen while these guys are on the DL? And we need to stay in front of Atlanta, or at least keep things competitive, because it could get real ugly real fast.
Well, to that point, interestingly enough, we lost Schwarber and Harper for a 10-day stint, but have subsequently gained a half a game on the Braves.
Well, that does feel nice.
It helps a little. It helps a little.
does.
So you think 8.5 games up, 10-day IL. We'll see if these injuries persist, how nagging they are, all that kind of stuff, and we'll go from there. So, just real quick, because I don't know if we just kind of plowed right into this.
How do you not? But go ahead.
Yeah, no, how do you not? If the listeners are wondering why you're seeing an extra episode, a quick little appendix, if you will, drop, why I'm not my hey boy kind of self.
Oh, because that's you. Yeah, no, you're the cheery one.
Well, I at least have some zingers, or
that's true.
Attempt zingers. I'm a little more like chuckly. I'm
not tonight.
The bits, the jokes, man, we ain't got them. And we're doing this little bit of an appendix. I did say it at the beginning. See, I'm all over the place, but we can't let sit. Well, let's sit. So that is the different tone. That's what you're getting. We're blasting through this for you. We want to that we feel the situation, that like it wasn't just all, what do you call Baltimore chop? Because that's not what this week is anymore.
No, it really changed in a matter of moments, and we are still, I think, going to do our midseason kind of analysis of what our predictions were and some of our terrible takes, and looking at the glass now the way we are. That's going to be interesting. But we did want to make sure that the thing that wasn't left standing between the last issue and this issue was the fact that we needed to address the Schwarber and the Harper of it all, and just kind of, the team we're going to be talking about for the next couple of episodes is not the team we just finished talking about on the last one. And we kind of wanted to create that stop point, that little chapter marker of like, all right, we acknowledge that was one version, and now we're gonna see, because 10-day DLs, man, can last longer, they can last shorter, who knows. The All-Star break is a good thing that it's coming the way it is, because you get those 10 days, you got an extra 2 days. All right, just sit them. No one's going to be pressured to go into a stupid home run derby that no one gives two hells about. So
I love the derby.
I know you do too, but I don't want I watched the entire 08 through 11 Phillies go to the home run derby and then lose all of their home run power for the second half of the season. And because of that, when we have a chance at the World Series, I don't want our guys in the home run derby. I'll watch other people. I don't want ours in.
Yeah, that does seem to be the take from people. That's what
I'm scarred. I'm scarred from past experiences, man. Like, I'm sure it doesn't always happen, but it's happened often enough that I'm good on that. I am.
It does happen often enough.
It really does. It really does. So we wanted to honor something we teased, and we are going to do our mid-season analysis, but we wanted to address the elephant in the room and just kind of get into your earwaves and be like, yeah, we see it. That sucks. And it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks, couple of episodes, and we're going to see what it looks like.
Yeah. Thankfully it was 10-day ILs, right?
That's so true. Strains, not tears.
Right. And the way Harper was talking last night,
I was really worried. I was really worried, man.
Yeah, I mean,
but that's Harper. That's hard. Harper. So, like, all right, man. Like, I've watched it. Like Tyreek Hill. I'm a Dolphins fan, as well documented. Tyreek Hill is the same way. Every single game, he's gonna limp off the field, and you're gonna wonder to yourself, "Oh, there's the ACL. There it is. That he's done for the season." And then 2 plays later, he's catching a 45-yard bomb into the end zone. Like, that's the type of guy Harper is too. He makes this really grandiose, over-the-top displays of discomfort and injury, and then like he's back 2 plays later making a web gem, and it's like, all right, man. Like, how do I? It's a lot. It's a lot of boy who cried wolf, and I love Harper. He's my dude. But I'm still going to hold him accountable to the things I see. And it's a lot of boy who cried wolf, and it makes it hard to understand what's actually happening in real time.
Yeah, I mean, he's a showman, right? Yell it for the people in the back, I suppose. Right? What else could it be?
That's all it is. That's all it is.
So we'll get through this. We'll see what happens. We will cross the bridges as we get to them. That being said, though, Alex, like, how wrong am I? How right am I? How negative am I being? How bozo radio show caller am I being? I want to feel like I want to put a lot of this on Dombrowski.
Okay, so at 10 p.m. last night, you were at about a 4. I was actually at a 7 or an 8, but you were at a 4. By 10 a.m. this morning, you were at like a 9. On a scale of 1 to 10, by 1 p.m., you were at 18. You were truly an apocalyptic mess. I'm not saying like I was worried for your mental health, but like I was wondering, I was curious.
I was all over the place. I mean,
know
I
you
openly
were.
admitted how all over the place I was.
And your awareness of how all over that's how I knew that you were okay and like you were going to be fine. But yeah, it was intense, and I understood exactly why you were going through what you were going through and how you were going through. I think you're a little closer to Gen X, so you have a little bit more nihilism than I do. I'm a little closer like to maybe the Gen Z, so I have a little bit more hope. You have more nihilism on that scale.
Yeah,
So like
in my
while
older
I'm
millennials.
100%, dude. And
Yeah.
I respect the hell out of that. I do. You guys had to deal with a lot of stuff. Polly Pocket, man. What was that? But anyways,
All right.
we had creepy crawlers. That shit was awesome.
I had a creepy crawler.
Dude, we all had a creepy crawler like that. If you kids want to look up some fun nostalgia, creepy crawlers, 90s, 2000s, kids toy, you could really burn yourself like the Bluth family cornballer. But yeah, it was a good time. Anyways,
Cornballer. I don't even corn know her.
Nebraska jokes. Gotta love them. I don't know what the hell I was talking about before I completely sidetracked myself, but I don't think
me being at 11 and manic.
Yeah, no, like I respect that. I do. You're a Phillies fan.
My original question of, am I being bozo radio show caller? How negative about putting some of this on Dombrowski?
I think you are entirely okay to put it on Dombrowski. There are a lot of different shows and a lot of different pundits that we listen to that we very much respect that have questioned some of the Dombrowski moves. Rodolfo Castro, what? Honestly, what? Soto, Veerling, like you can question a lot of moves. He's brought in some great pieces, but he's had some clunkers, and he's not always 100%. And my God, if ever there was a year in which the baseball gods were begging us to do something to bolster our team at the trade deadline, like how many more signs do we need to get? How many more things does the universe need to provide before we realize, like, no, we need to make a move. I hated that we sold the farm in 09, 010 and 10 for like the Legion of Arms, but I do feel like we're going to need to make some moves to bring in some big league guys to make sure that we can go on this run. Because if we've gotten this far, if we've done all of this and Father Time's caught up, dudes are getting injured, and we don't get a chance to hoist that trophy, like, oh man. And I know that's so nihilistic and that's so apocalyptic to even think that way, but like it's hard not to in moments like this.
Right. And that's kind of where part of the meltdown, and like this is where I'm getting with it. Like early in our season, earlier in this show's, birth, I was yelling and screaming about running it back. You have an epic NLCS collapse.
Good job. That was awesome. That was a good job.
Thank you. You have an epic NLCS collapse, and that's 2
for 2.
And you run it back. Like usually when teams collapse that hard in the playoff, the answer isn't run it back. There's an overhaul to some degree, but no, they ran it back.
We got rid of Kimbrel. That might have been enough.
I think someone's lighting fireworks in my backyard. I will worry about that some other times. The joys of living in Kensington. Anyways, so
outstanding.
Right, exactly. So we worry about that. And then here's the problem now with running it back. Like it gives you the void of a true 4-hole hitter, which we still don't have. It's a World Series or bust notion. We don't have a 4-hole hitter. That's the problem with running it back. one of the other problems with running it back. You took a chance on a guy that wasn't hitting at a major league level for his defense. You bring him down to AAA. So now you're running 2 platoons in the outfield. You're forcing Topper now to make some weirdo decision when we don't have a true, legit 4-hole hitter. We're running 2 platoons in the outfield, so you're getting Schwarber out in left field. This dude runs like an elephant and never should touch the field again. And before
I still
you
take
know
him
it,
over Dahl. I still take him over Dahl in the field. I do.
Sure. But I mean, it still goes in the aspect of like how much of this is on Dombrowski, right? We have a 5th starter situation, which I'll give him credit for. We came into the season better than last season where we didn't have a 5th starter at all. That whole thing of maybe some unproven rookie who hasn't touched the minors yet is the 5th starter. Like that was the theory that we were going on for 2 seasons. Like what the hell theory was that, right? So
Right.
at least this year we come in not only with 1, but the 2 turns out with Turnbull. You shut him down April 30th from making starts, and then mid to end of June say, hey bud, you're starting again, and now he's on the IL. I mean, I think the Walker thing is a very phantom IL, right? He's got a blister on his finger, a hot spot on his finger.
For
and he said he was completely fine in that interview. So like that is definitely like, hey,
but like his ERA
we're
is
not
6.
sending you down, but you got to work on your splitter. You work on your splitter in the bullpen for 10 days. That's
right.
what it is. But I mean, we're put in situations that we shouldn't be in. These players are put in situations where they shouldn't be in. It's got to affect their body, right? It has to. You shut your starting pitcher down. He was dealing for the 5th starter, right? He had some Turnbull magic going on. And
He was a sub 2 ERA, didn't he? Before he went to the pen, he had a sub 2 ERA, and like that was after a legitimate handful of starts that most major league pitchers have at least a 2.0 ERA at that point. So no, I hear you. All right. So okay, so we're talking about a cleanup hitter. Would it make more sense to go and get a leadoff hitter and move Kyle to cleanup?
He doesn't feel comfortable there.
I know, and that's so insane.
Yeah, I can hit anywhere in the lineup. I'm not comfortable there.
It's the craziest thing in the universe. Like
it's both sides out of your mouth thing.
I know.
And I don't want to rehash the Schwarber at leadoff debate.
I don't. And to me, it's not even, I'm fine with him at leadoff. I am. But like, he might be a better suited fit. His hitting profile this year with the average he has and who gives a shit? He's on the IL. So, now that I think about it, it all comes full circle. And it doesn't matter for at least the next 2 weeks or through the All-Star break. How disappointed are you that Harper's not going to get to wear a Phil's hat at the All-Star game?
I mean, what is going on here? The dude's been with us since what, 2018?
He won an MVP without appearing in an All-Star game.
Yeah, he
might win another
at this point.
It is.
Yeah,
it is. I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? He'll get it at some point. He's gonna get a damn Gold Glove this year, and he very well might get the MVP depending on what he comes back as. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
You want to hear a joke?
Sure.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Why didn't Harper get an extension?
Why didn't Harper get an extension? Who?
Why didn't Harper get an extension? Because there's still 8 years left in the contract, and the bozo gets hurt every season. I'm getting tired of this. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, guys, if you want to
get through a season, just get through one whole season.
I am so excited that we've now done 16, 17, 18, who the hell knows, episodes of this show, and we have not quite gotten through to the Danny versus the Harper extension subplot that I think we could get plenty of content out of. But I say we just drop that
earlier. We weren't going to talk about it.
We did, but then you kind of did. So
I just did right now.
You did. I'm going to tease it for a later segment. Today is not the day to have that conversation.
I don't want to
come up again.
I don't want to be Eskin-esque, if you will, and go against Eskin-esque.
I like it.
And go, start wars with Bryce Harper, the face of the freaking franchise.
Face of the sport.
Yeah,
of the sport.
That's not lost on me. But like Harper's hurt again.
Okay,
Cool.
he's like early 30s, and he gives his when he gives his all, Eskin, that's when he gets hurt. So maybe let him jog one out to first base every now and then, and let's not crucify him because he is listening to WIP, as we know, and he shouted out Chuck from Mount Airy. So let's not give him dumb ideas, guys. Okay, he's a ball player. That's okay, but let's not give him bad ideas because he's listening.
I'm just like I said, I was all over the place. I was down. I needed to get some stuff out. We needed to bridge the tone between the last episode and what's going to be the next episode. So that is what this the cathartic pod was about.
This was really a 25-minute section of Amped Up, to call it what it is, and I'm okay with that.
Are we doing a bit? Are we doing anything? Or are we just getting out of here?
I mean, maybe we could just get. Should we tease the 999?
Yeah, sure.
So, folks,
we got some news.
We do. The 999 challenge. It is a go. It will be at least Daniel-san and myself. I believe Daniel will be coming up to the Harrisburg area to my house to be doing it here.
Yeah, we're gonna do it in person together. In person,
like a bunch of chaps. It'll be the weekend of the Pirates series, the 19th of July to the 21st. I don't know if we're doing a Friday or Saturday. Did we decide that or no?
No, we did not.
All right, so it's going to be one of those days. We will let you know in the coming weeks, but we encourage you to find out how to watch us live. We're going to figure out how to advise you to do that as well, and this is going to be fun.
Alex and I in the same room, slugging 9 beers, eating 9 hot dogs. We're going to do it live over the internet.
What could go wrong?
Slug 9 beers with us. It's going to be fun.
What could go wrong?
Absolutely nothing. But yeah, when we get that Friday or Saturday nailed down, we'll let you guys know so you can plan accordingly.
Absolutely. As always, thank you for listening. If you want to reach out to us, Quit Chasin Podcast at gmail.com, on Twitter at Quit Chasin Pod, or on our YouTube channel also at Quit Chasin Pod. But if you're watching this, you already know that. So go check us out on Spotify or Apple. Like, subscribe, tell 2 friends. Go to our Facebook page and check out the Old City Sports Network Facebook page to check out all of their other shows, as well as merchandise opportunities and any live events they have coming up, such as tonight. They are recording a live episode for the NHL draft for their Flyers podcast. So thank you, everybody. Danny, send us out.
Yeah. Hey, everyone. Thanks for listening. Thank you for letting me be your sounding board for me and my therapy. We will do better next week. I promise. Everyone knows an ant can't move a rubber tree plant.